Hey, what's up, gamer? Skelemystyk. Have you ever been playing somewhere in the game world and you've seen something or done something, or one of your buddies has seen or done something, and you said, man, that ought to be a meme, I swear. Now, mind you, I know that a lot of people are of the opinion that the entire game of Wizard101 should be a meme. I know there are those folks. But I myself have seen times where I just wish I could like take a screenshot and apply a caption, even though I was in the middle of a battle. Something was going on that was just so meme worthy that I couldn't stand it. Well, guys, it seems that I am not alone in this. I asked a bunch of the friends and fans the other day just for some Wizard101 memes to see what people might have had regarding the game. And I've got to tell you, some of them are quite amusing. I'm going to take a few minutes here running around Celestia Base Camp in a pointless circle to share some of the memes that I have seen as a poet and didn't know it. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Alright, let's get on with the memes. Any good meme show about Wizard101 has to start with the logins. I searched high, and I searched wide, and I searched low for a good login meme, and I have to say that of all the ones I found, this one takes the cake. Now, whether you're a new wizard just starting the game, or else you're starting a new wizard after finishing up another one, we've all had the moment where you're at the screen, they want you to choose a school, and you just don't know what you want to pick. Do you want to be a healer? Do you want to be a tank? Do you want to be an ultra damaged god? Well, in that case, here is the meme for you. I love this one. This is great. This next one has happened to me so often that I know it's had to have happened to you too. I mean, in fact, it's happened so often, there's a meme for it. This one especially happens to me usually on that first curve in Triton Avenue where I'm trying to get past all of the golems and get down to business. I swear I'm hugging the wall so close that I'm scraping off the booty in my pants against the wall, and still yet managed to get pulled by something way off the sidewalk. This next one, I have to say, it is a pretty old meme, but I do think that holds quite a lot of truth to it for all those players out there who are just barreling along, leveling characters left and leveling characters right, and you make the mistake of asking your parents for crowns, and they realize, hey, they're paying $75 a year for you to play this crazy game. So they cancel the subscription. So here you are, your parents have canceled your subscription, and you don't know what to do, and you spy that, hey, earn crowns free button. And the little light bulb comes on top of your head, and then you say, hey, well, if they won't buy me a subscription, I'll just buy the areas for crowns. How can I earn the best free crowns? Well, here's the actual truth of the matter. So you're scrambling around, trying your best to get some crowns to buy yourself some areas or stitches or whatever through those long and boring trivia questions, through those not quite always working video buttons, and your friend, just to tease you, shows you what his crown total is. And being as he has so many more crowns than you do, you ask him if he'll get you a pack. And he's a good friend, so he does. Well, you end up with junk in the pack. I swear you get every piece of crap gear and seed and rug and everything you can't use in that pack. So you ask him for another pack. And, well, he's a little bit slower this time, but he gives you another pack. And what do you get? But the same rugs and junk you got in the last pack. So what do? You ask him for another pack. This time he's a little bit harder on it, and you start looking something like this here. I think I recognize that expression. And at last you finally lay hands on some crowns so you can get some packs for yourself. Crossing your fingers, or curling your toes, and wishing on rainbows, you start opening some packs to see what you get. And you end up with the best pack opening ever. I personally have had this happen once or twice. Like whenever the Horde of the Hydra pack came out. In the first 10 packs, I got 4 Hydra mounts. And I looked something like this here. And it isn't even as though the pack openings are bad enough. Wizard101, as you know, comes out with a bundle about every other Tuesday for you to buy. And you see it, and others see it, and you all have the same expression on your faces. And it looks something like this. Another wonderful aspect of Wizard101 that makes it the game that it is PvP. Including people's ability to tell the tallest, most unlikely tales. Such as the fellow who told me that he made Warlord in 2 hours. From scratch, without cheating. I just had to react like this. Okay, let's set the scene. It's Wednesday morning. You've managed to fake out your mom and stay home sick from school while she goes to work. Or, well, you've managed to call off work faking out your boss being sick. And you decide that you're going to spend some of that time productively playing some Wizard101, maybe even doing some PvP. You get yourself on there to PvP queue, sign up, ready to go, and this is what you get. And I have to say, that it isn't just Wednesday morning this happens. A lot of times this happens. You just never know. I mean, especially these days, if you try to get a 4v4, wow, it's impossible. And after that long, long wait in the queue, you finally get your PvP opponent, and all he does is complain. Buddy, maybe I like having 500 tower shields on my deck. Maybe I like spamming bullets. Maybe I like just making life hard for you. Your opponent even happens to win, and he's still complaining, to the point where you just want to grab him by his pixelated collar and hold this sign right up against his nose for 5 minutes solid. And though I'm sure some people would disagree with me, life in Wizard101 isn't all about PvP. There's that always present, ever wonderful questing to be done. Until that point where you reach that boss, oh my God, or any of those other throat clearing needs that you have for a boss that you just can't beat. And you go to the commons and you ask people who look like they're of high level and knowledgeable for a little bit of help. Well, that kind of gets met with mixed responses at times. Until at last you find a group of people who is interested in doing the same boss that you are, because, well, they've had the same problems that you've had in beating him. So you all get together in a nice hunky-dory friendly group, and you go up to the sigils and you go in and you start fighting the boss, and, well, he puts a smackdown on you. And you find yourself forced to flee, even though he's really, really low on health, and you hate to run away and not make it back in time. Well, you take the chance and you run back, and that's right. Anyhow, you all finish the boss. This could be Malistaire, this could be Owen, this could be Aphrodite, or any one of them. And it's a good thing all of you are playing as pixelated toons, avatars, whatever word you want to use, because I guarantee you that each player at home has the same expression on their face for just a couple seconds, and it looks something like this. Yep, I have had that expression myself more than once, I am pretty sure. Maybe with a little drool right out of the corner of my mouth. Or, alternatively, you farm this boss over and over and over and over again. I personally have had this experience back whenever I was crafting that treetop house and you needed the sparse fronds. I farmed for sparse fronds for 10 days. 10 days! And I got 1 sparse frond. I was so freaking triggered. I could have shot bullets out of my beep. You know what I mean? And never got what I needed. And I looked like this, I do believe. In fact, well, maybe I probably didn't even look this good. While we're talking about drops and bosses, let's talk about the wonderful, much-loved, nefarious Lore Master. Whenever Lore Master first started out, she was a very, very generous sort. She was handing out spells here and handing out spells there and just everywhere, and everybody could get them. These days, I'm afraid it looks more something along these lines. And not only for me, but for many, many people. I think Lore Master is one of the top most hated stingy bosses in Wizard 101. Although Rattlebones is probably up there pretty far too. Rattlebones has the unique ability to drop just the entirely wrong piece of gear that you were looking for. If you are a storm, he will drop something for a storm, sure, but if it's shoes that you want, you'll get a hat. If you want a hat, you'll get a wand. If you want a wand, you will get a seed. And that is the nature of Rattlebones. It's giving you exactly what you don't need at exactly the right time. Sometimes, every once in a while, he does give you exactly what you need, but it doesn't really go with your gear. And you're just so happy to get something from Rattlebones that, well, you dress it like this. Now, I personally have never done that because, well, I must stitch, but I've seen this look on some people. However, most of the time, oddly enough, you just don't end up with what you were trying to get. I myself farmed Malistaire 25 times back in the old days whenever he had all that extra life. I farmed him 25 times before I got my first piece of Malistaire gear. I farmed him the 50th time before I got my last piece of Malistaire gear. And believe you me, I was never more ready to hate that boss than anybody else in this game. Especially when my friend told me that he got 2 of his pieces on the first run that he did. I looked something like this, and I'm sure that you did too when you heard that same line from your friend. And then, to end this video on a positive note, because that's what we really need to do, there are those times where you go, you plan, you farm the boss, and slam, bam, thank you, ma'am, everything that you ever wanted just falls out of the sky and into your pocket like magic. And when it does, I think you look like this. Alright guys, that is it for the memes for this video. I hope you're not too sickened because, well, I had a good time making this. I really did. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, a good hard smash as well. Subscribe, share, and yell my name to everybody you know, because I would love to see more of you around here. Until next time, this is Skelemystyk reminding you that whatever else you do, always love the game. Peace.